That's your response. You should say it.
The protests may already be having an impact. Some Republicans have begun talking about repairing Obamacare rather than replacing it. And the president, who initially said he wanted to replace it right away, now Vlad says the process could take up to a year or more.
Nancy, many analysts have drawn a line between what's happening with these types of town halls and what happened back in 2009 and 2010 when the Tea Party movement was finding its roots. Do you see these incidents as ideological cousins, and do they seem to be taking hold in the same way?
There is no question that Democrats are trying to learn the lessons from the Tea Party. They don't see themselves as mirror images. They believe that there were some elements fueling the Tea Party that don't exist in their own movement. But they do think that the Tea Party movement was very successful in beating back parts of the president's agenda. And that's partly because it was organic. It started out not from some centralized place in Washington, but from the states themselves. And these Tea Party protesters were more focused on pushing back at the president than trying to initiate their own policies. And really, that's kind of the best you can do when you are not the party in power. And so Democrats have explicitly been saying, here's what we can learn from the Tea Party. Here's what strategies work. Here's which ones don't. And they've even gone so far as to post on the web centrally where all these town halls are taking place and when, so that frustrated Democrats who are looking for an outlet, who don't like what they see but don't feel empowered necessarily to do something about it, they can go on the web, see where these town halls are taking place, and then go out and take some action.
So it sounds like as if they are fairly well organized. Nancy, I want to ask you about something else. During a bipartisan meeting on Thursday, the president reportedly reacted to Senator Warren being silenced on the Senate floor earlier in the week, saying he was glad she was becoming the face of the Democratic Party. Warren has been pretty successful at getting under his skin. Does the Democratic Party need someone like Elizabeth Warren to lead the charge, or is it, as we've been seeing over the last couple of days, a grassroots strategy that will seem more effective?
You know, so far, we've really seen a situation where it is that grassroots strategy putting pressure, not just on Warren, but on Democrats here in Washington to be more aggressive with Republicans than they might otherwise be. Part of the reason that you've seen things like Democrats walking out of votes over cabinet nominees or voting no en masse on almost every one of these nominees is because they are under so much pressure from their voters. Now, Republicans argue that this is recalcitrance, that they are not being logical, that they are going too far. But it really shows that a lot of these protests are having an impact not just on Republicans but on Democrats as well. And by the way, that's not necessarily a bad thing as far as Democratic lawmakers are concerned. Their attitude is keep it up, because if they can argue that they have got a movement behind them, pushing them, then it enables them to go farther than they would go otherwise.
Nancy Cordes reporting from Capitol Hill. Nancy, thank you.
You're welcome.